again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Around the Town with Chuck. My name is Chuck Guglielmo, a weekly interview show where we talk with interesting people around the community. And today we have newly elected Commissioner Kathryn Whittington. Kathryn, congratulations.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to find out a lot about Kathryn Whittington today, but first, Kathryn, tell us a little bit how you got into the political scene. Tell us a little bit about yourself leading up to being a commissioner.
Well, I was never involved in politics, so this is all very new. I worked for Ashtabula County Children's Services for over 13 years, so I am in social service by trade, not political. I've been 25 years serving children and families.
Wow.
15 here in this county, and then 10 outside of the county between Geauga and Lake. So always been in the social service aspect of it. I got involved in politics when our Ashtabula Municipal City Judge, Judge Laura DiGiacomo, decided to run for judge. I worked on her campaign, and that kind of opened some doors, and then this position came available, and I thought, after the experiences we had had, we were burglarized in 2013, and so that kind of just seemed to lead me towards the political piece of it, and I thought, you know what, I could make a difference at this level to help move our county forward. So,
of course, you're newly elected, as is JP Ducro.
correct.
And you guys will be joining Casey.
We have already joined
Already
Casey.
have joined Casey.
We were seated January 2nd and January 3rd.
And Casey's relatively new, I think maybe
2
second
years.
year, 2 years.
Yep, he's 2 years now.
He's also been on Around the Town with Chuck, so
Yeah.
we're going to try to get all of you here. So Kathryn, recently you just went to Washington, D.C. at the
Yes.
inauguration. We have to hear all about that. How exciting was it? I think you've gone before.
I actually, I've never been before to an inauguration.
Okay.
This was the first inauguration. I did just get back. I got back yesterday afternoon, matter of fact. So we left Thursday night, drove into Maryland, stayed there, got up, drove, rode
The three of you went together?
We went together, and we rode the metro into DC.
Oh.
So that was a little, I'd grown up on transit, so I was fairly comfortable with that process. The inauguration was just an emotional, incredible experience.
How close were you?
We were close. We were just, I believe, to the left of the podium. And just, we were slightly back. Were we up close and personal? No, but we were close enough that we could really see what was going on. So it was really neat. There were just the excitement in the air,
I can imagine.
just the process alone, just that whole piece. I'd seen it on TV, but to experience it live, I think, is completely different. Just all the people there, it was amazing to me to watch the history unfold. And I started the process out going to the very first presidential debate in Cleveland. So when they had all of them there doing the first debate, and I've been through most of the process, and then I spoke at the presidential rally for Trump in Geneva at the Spire. I was one of the guest speakers.
And that was well attended.
Very well attended.
We have to hear
Approximately
about that,
14,000 people.
Wow,
So,
coming to Ashtabula County.
Right. So
That's just incredible to me.
it really has been just a really historical. I picked the year that I decided to run happened to be the most historical time in a presidential election that I've seen. So to be kind of involved in that it has just been an incredible process. So.
Now, at the inauguration, how long were you actually there that day?
At the inauguration itself, we got there at probably about 9 o'clock. The inauguration started at noon, and we were done probably about 1:30, and then off to do other activities and go from there. And then we attended the inaugural ball. So that was
Wow.
very exciting.
It's a good time to have you on the show.
So we attended the inaugural ball, and which was just very exciting. And he and Melania came, and Vice President and his wife. So it was just incredible to see the president and the First Lady. It was just a really neat experience.
So, what other big name people did you see? Pretty up close,
no one actually. No one actually up close and personal. I found talking to other state representatives from the party and, just getting to know their processes and basically, networking with them to see what they're doing in their state versus, what we're doing, and can we bring any of that here to ours? And so it was
even a learning experience
it was a learning experience, and just making those connections to people outside of our state as well was just meeting people, and what a great experience. So
share some of that experience now when President Trump came to the Spire in Geneva. That was back in late summer?
Yes. I'm thinking September.
Roads were closed,
October.
Traffic jams on I-90.
It was incredible. We found out a couple days prior to that he would be coming, and I did not know at that point that I would be speaking, just that I would be attending as a candidate for commissioner, that I would be able to attend. And I had already met him. I met him back during the primary.
Oh, okay.
So I had already gone through that process, which was incredible, because now I've met the President of the United States. So great experience.
And who can say that?
And I have my picture with him, so it was just he is just an incredible man. So speaking at the Spire was just a bonus. The night before, I received a phone call from our party chair that I would be one of the speakers that night, and to prepare a script on a specific area. They had a specific area that I would be speaking on, and I've never experienced anything like that in my life, and I had to say, out of all of our campaigning and out of all the events I attended for Trump for president, that probably was the most exciting thing that I attended and was part of. So just being able to speak and talk about him, it was incredible.
Unbelievable too.
Yeah.
I think. And like you said, a learning experience being there as well.
Yes.
Talking to other forms of government people.
Yep. So I've learned an incredible amount of historical pieces, but also just the local history alone is fascinating. And just to have a president-elect, now our president, come through during a campaign. I mean, we haven't had that in over 20 or 30 years. So, I mean, it was really incredible for Ash to be able to be put on the map and have that happen.
And to have so many attend.
Yes.
Like, would you say 14,000?
It was approximately 14,000 is what they were saying.
Wow, unbelievable. So. Incredible. And I'm sure JP and Casey were just as excited.
Oh, definitely. They also spoke. So all three of us had the opportunity to speak. So that was, it was just an incredible experience.
Casey's a great guy. I can't wait to get JP Ducro on as well.
You know what? I've been blessed to work with two really incredible people. So.
So, County Commissioner, why do we have three? Is there any reason why we have three? And is there a particular reason why we have that particular number?
I would imagine that it's due to the voting, that you need, politically, if somebody opposes or, it's a two-party system. It's very interesting that we have 3 Republicans. That's a first in many years. That hasn't happened.
Is that for like either party, or have the Democrats had 3?
I'm not sure if the Democrats have had 3. I would imagine early on we haven't had 3 Republican commissioners in a very long time. So this was a very exciting time. But when it comes down to voting, you can't have 2. You need somebody to
cast that deciding.
Right, because you might have a tie or, So basically, we all have different aspects to it. It's part of the Ohio Revised Code that there are 3 county commissioners, so it is a statute. It's not something that, we just need 3. It's part of the actual code.
So what exactly does a county commissioner do? What are some of the roles and responsibilities and duties?
Our main focus, our main duty is we're the budgeting authority for the county. So we need to make sure that all of our departments are properly funded and that, they're able to conduct business for the county. And so that's our main priority, which is what we're in the process right now of doing is our county budget. We just finished up our budget sessions with all our county departments to hear their budget requests. And so the next step is to start talking with each of the department heads to see what's reasonable and necessary and go from there.
And that's for every city and village in the county?
We have 27 townships. We do not oversee Conneaut or the city of Geneva, the city of Ashtabula. They're governed by charters. So this is for the actual county departments. So this would be our auditor's office, our sheriff's department, the airport, those types of
Got them all listed for you to talk about.
Oh, good. Thank you.
So let's do that. Let's talk about some of the county government forms, and tell me, give me a feeling how you feel about it and what you would like to change or keep the same or whatever you'd like to do. Let's start with law enforcement in the county.
Law enforcement. I have the utmost respect for our law enforcement here in the county. As I mentioned earlier, we were the victims of a burglary in 2013. It was a heroin-driven crime. Our sheriff's department has been absolutely incredible. We are the largest burglary to this date. The case is still open, and they are still working it. So I have the utmost respect for what they do every day. They are our safety forces, and we need to make sure that they're properly funded so that we are keeping our citizens safe here in this community.
And you think it's very strong, right, currently?
The department itself?
Yes. Well staffed?
I think so. I know that, we always want more staff, but at this point, the sheriff is doing the best he can with what he has, and he's doing a fine job.
What about roads and bridges? What can you tell us your feelings on roads and bridges in the county?
I'm just getting into the roads and bridges. I haven't had much experience with that right now, so that's a department that I am still getting information and to learn about what that area takes care of as far as, what are we responsible for? What is the process to have things done? Those types of things.
So do the 3 of you work on different forms of the government, or you all work together on it?
We all work together on the budgeting piece, but we're assigned to different boards and commissions. Most of my boards and commissions are on the social service side of the commissioners, so because that is my background. JP, I have a couple economic development pieces, but for the most part, it is social service, related. JP serves on many of the economic development pieces, as well as Casey, and he serves on a lot of the financial pieces as well as economic development too. So.
Speaking of JP now, wasn't he with the Ashtabula school system?
No, the city.
The city, Ashtabula City.
He was city council president.
Okay, all right.
And he had stepped down, and they appointed Joe Meisner, who is just an incredible woman. So I think she is a great fit for that position, and will do well there.
What about zoning?
Zoning. Well, I live in a non-zoning area. So
South County.
South County. I'm in Richmond Township, which does not have zoning. So zoning is new to me. So I'm going to be learning the processes for which areas have zoning, which areas do not, commercial versus residential. So I'm starting, but
So it's pretty good for you and JP to have Casey there too, where all three of you aren't in your first go
in our
around.
first month.
Yeah, right. How long are the terms?
4 years.
4-year terms. Okay, so he's got 2 more.
He's got Casey's. His election will be in 18, and JP and I will be in 2020.
Okay, it was Casey that I was thinking about. I knew he was with the Andover schools, I think, before he became commissioner.
He was actually Pymatuning Valley School Board member. So
I got them a little bit mixed up.
That's
right.
okay. That's okay.
Building permits. What do you know about those?
Building permits, boy, we are working on the building department. We are working on streamlining that process. We have another company that we are piloting some plans with to see. They've guaranteed us a turnaround time, which is about half of what the turnaround time is now for plans coming back. So we're excited on that process and hoping that maybe in the next couple of weeks we can announce some changes in that area.
What are some requirements that people have to have in order to, what do they need a permit for?
That is not my expertise. That is Mr. Todd Nagy's expertise at our building department. So I would refer those calls right to Mr. Nagy. I wouldn't even
So
attempt.
if somebody came to you with that, that's what you would do?
I would refer them right over to Mr. Nagy. He is the person that they would need to call and find out that information.
Talking with Kathryn Whittington, newly elected county commissioner, one of 2 newly elected county commissioners here in Ashtabula County. Parks and recreations.
Parks and recreations, I love them. I use them. I am not part of the Metro Parks committee, that is JP. So I have not been, I don't know if he's been to a meeting yet or if he's going to. I'm not really sure what his schedule is. And then we will be briefed on that, so.
One thing we could say about Ashtabula County, we have some great parks.
We
have one of the best parks right here in Conneaut.
Yes, you do, and I visited a lot.
It is one of the best parks, well kept, clean. It's just beautiful. So, and there are some others too.
I tell you, we are so, this county has so much to offer, and I think sometimes we forget that we have all these great assets because we're so used to them. And you know, most people don't have beaches right in their backyard or beautiful parks, multiple beautiful parks. You know, I visit Pymatuning, I visit Conneaut, we visit Lakeshore, Walnut. I mean, try to hit all of them. Geneva. I mean, we have some really.
We do.
We have some
we
beautiful
have to be
areas.
Very proud of that. I think.
Yes, we do, and you don't have to travel far.
Right. Exactly.
To get to any of it. So.
Yeah. All within a half hour or so.
Exactly.
Something that's really big here in the city of Conneaut, garbage and recycling.
Well, I am happy to say that there is some recycling news happening. It looks like we're going to have 4 drop-off points in the county, as well as the one that is currently in Ashtabula City. So we'll actually have 5 drop-off points. The 4 drop-off points haven't been named yet, so I can't speak to that, but that process is moving along and should be happening soon.
Sewer service. What about that form of government?
Sewer,
How's that kind of
sewer and water.
sewer and water?
I've had a quick crash course in sewer and water. I need several more crash courses in sewer and water.
I hear you.
So we're, with only being 3 weeks into the job,
Sure.
most of this is brand new. A lot of it we haven't even been briefed on. So much of it is just information that I'm waiting to get. Our budget sessions have taken up the majority of our time at this point. That process normally starts in November, but the former board wanted to wait and allow us to, the new board, make the decisions regarding, the hearings, because the budget wouldn't have been done when they left office. So they left that piece, so we were trying to play catch up and get that process completed.
Let's talk a little bit more about that budget. So how difficult is it for the three of you to put together a budget where you all would agree on?
We're not even to that point yet. What we have is a revenue number, so we'll know basically what our projected revenue is. We now have all of our budget requests in, and they exceed the revenue at this point. So the next step is to have a meeting with the departments, and then after that, then the budget adjustments will start.
Okay. Let's see. I've got here domestic violence, which is very big, unfortunately.
It is unfortunate. I've done a lot of work with domestic violence. I personally worked with Home Safe, and we also did domestic violence training out of our agency as well. So very familiar with the domestic violence area. It's unfortunate. It's something that it's an education piece. It's a policing piece. It's a lot of times there's drugs or alcohol or mental health involved. There's just so many aspects to it. So.
And it's not just county related. I mean, it's all over the country.
It's not. It is not just our county. This is a national issue across the board. So
it really is sad.
It is very sad. We have a victims of crime unit that they do great work, absolutely great work. We have Home Safe, who's out there. They're in the schools and working with the kids and educating them. Great resources for people who are involved. So, I mean, we have great resources here in the county for it.
Yeah, we do. Transit programs.
Transportation. I just was appointed to the transportation piece, so that'll be something that I will be attending and going forward with, learning about what ACTS does, where it goes, the different types of services. I know it offers the door-to-door. We have our regular routes. But there's going to be a transit board that will be set up to address the barriers of transportation in our county. So I'm looking forward to that.
What did you think of our transportation before you walked into your position? How did you think it was?
I really wish we had more public transportation. I grew up in young, riding the RTA, riding the Rapid, and then we moved to Geauga County, who had no transportation, public transportation.
Really?
So that was kind of a shock. So when I came here and I learned that there was public transportation, I got excited because I would utilize it. And then I realized that it was just up here, it was just up in the city and the township, and being a South County girl, that wasn't gonna work. So I'm excited that, with the transportation board, what will go from there, and start addressing the barriers in our county, which, we have the largest geographical county
Right, that's
in
why
the
this
state.
topic is so big.
It is, because, people like me, anybody, I would ride public transportation. If I could leave my house, park my car, and ride into work, I would. So, that's why, when we were in Washington, I loved being on the metro. It just, you go, you get on, you don't worry about finding a parking space, you don't worry about where you're gonna park.
How nice is that, huh?
You get on the train and you go.
Yeah.
So
It's like going to a sporting event. You got to worry about parking.
you don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah, it's so great, so great. What about our public health services here in the county?
I've done a lot of work with the health departments over the years, being formerly at Children's Services and working with committees. So I have a great, they just really, they're doing a fabulous job. The biggest part of our problems here in the county is the state has cut so much money to all services across the board. And, each department and each entity is trying to fulfill all the needs, all the requirements, all the state mandates, all the federal mandates that come down, but yet their money keeps going away. So one of the things I hope to do is to be advocating in Columbus for monies for our different departments. But I think our health departments they do a great job. Mm-hmm. And they're out there, they're out in the community, they're out in the schools, they're educating. I met with our county health department, I've met with Asheville City's health department. So they're doing great work. But once again, all of these departments, all of these agencies who've been cut, at the state, we need somebody down there advocating to keep monies in our budget so that they keep money flowing to them so that they can keep operating.
Now, will you have to make trips to Columbus every so often, like weekly, monthly?
I currently am on one of the County Commissioners Association of Ohio committees, and so I will be traveling to Columbus. I believe that's once a month. I do have a trip planned to Columbus the first week of February. JP and I will be in new commissioner training, so we'll be there for a few days, and then we'll be back.
I'll get you back on when you get all this training. A couple more of these. How about housing programs?
The housing programs, I'm not real familiar with as far as what we have, what's still available. A lot of the programming that the housing programs that I worked with when I was at Children's Services are no longer in existence because there's no funding coming from state or federal funds. So that's one of the things I'm looking forward to seeing, what we have here available and what's still in process.
Mm-hmm. And lastly for this, what about growth management policies?
As far as
how are we growing here in the county?
How do you
feel we're growing?
Well, I'm hoping that we are going to grow. We need to, the commissioners can't, and this is a big piece for us, we can't create jobs, but we can create and facilitate an area that places will want to expand, will want to come and create those jobs. We have Growth Partnership is doing a great job working along with the Port Authority and the 503 Corp. And I think those units coming together and really starting to work as a team to help move our county forward, I think you're going to see some nice things coming our way.
To me, it seems like the southern portion of the county is growing a little bit faster than up here near the lake shore. Do you see it that way?
That's funny that you said that, because I just had a gentleman say to me, nothing's being done in South County, it's all being done in North County. So now I'm not sure. I'm not sure how.
I look at Jefferson and I see them booming. It just seems like it's growing. To me, that's just me though. Where I don't see that necessarily up here along the lakeshore communities.
Well, and I guess I think what are you looking at as far as the growth, businesses coming in, development?
Development mainly.
And I think a lot of that is perception, because like you said, you see it South County, but the gentleman who's a South County resident
Saw it the other way.
saw it the other way. So sometimes I think.
So we'll drop it.
So I'm not really sure. I think,
Sure.
our goal is to move our county forward and start, the growth of this county. We have a lot of things to address. It's not gonna happen tomorrow.
I think the three of you will do a great job.
Thank you.
Before I let you go, I should have asked you at the beginning. Now, you said you worked at Children's Services.
Correct.
What exactly did you do there, and how much did you enjoy that?
I enjoyed my time at Children's Services. Matter of fact, I was back there today for a meeting, and I actually miss working with the children and families. My department I was in was the community service department. So I did all the community service for the agency. I not only did the PR, the marketing, I oversaw our parenting classes. I was in charge of the summer feeding program. So I did all of those aspects. I helped plan all the events for child abuse prevention. I helped run those campaigns. So I did that piece. I worked with the parents when children were removed to work on their parenting skills. I'm trained in seven different curriculums. So I did trainings at schools for abuse and neglect. I trained some of our staff to be trainers. So
Have you been in all the county schools?
Yes, I have actually been in every school district. So
It's wonderful.
Yes,
So when you say children now, are we talking K right up through 12th grade?
I've actually worked into Kent State, so I've actually been at Kent State with some of their classes as well. So I've done K through college. So that was one of the big things is, being in there. Our summer feeding program, we would serve anywhere between 30 and 40,000 meals in an 8-week session. So, just trying to keep that need.
25 years for that, right, for you?
25 years of social service, 13 here in this county with Children's Services, and
wow,
so.
That's very nice. What an exciting year for you, Kathryn.
It has been an
and it's
incredible
extending into 2017. You got the being elected county commissioner.
Yes, being elected. I went right to the inauguration.
So thank you for coming all the way in today.
Me.
We appreciate it, and we'll get you back on when you get some more training and see what you offer.
See what I learned.
Yeah, see what you learned.
Okay.
Okay, Kathryn Whittington, my guest today on Around the Town with Chuck. Next week we will talk with Conneaut Area City School Superintendent Lori Riley. Have a good night.